Aloha and welcome to Knitted Paradise, where the needles are clicking and the yarn is squishy. My name's Lucia, I'm your hostess, and you can find me online as Pearl of the Pacific. Welcome to episode 18. It is Monday. I'm actually recording on a Monday, isn't that exciting? I know. And it's February 24th. Yes. So, the Olympics just finished, which I'm kind of sad about. I was really enjoying watching them. We now have wireless internet in our apartment. Yay! It's been a while. No, Cat, you cannot play with my arms. He's feeling slightly dejected and going to sit over on the other side. Anyway, we had to switch internet providers when we moved, and we had to go with Comcast, which is cable. They provide internet through cable versus AT&T, which provides it through the phone line. So in order to get decent internet speed, they give you basic channels. So I was like, all right, well, it's about the same as we're paying for internet at the other place. And we get basic channels, which meant we got to watch the Olympics, which was really exciting because I didn't get to watch the Summer Olympics because I didn't have cable because I don't really watch TV. So now that the Olympics are over, we haven't really watched TV. We probably won't until the next Olympics, but that's okay. But we had wired internet for a while, but I had to go Friday night to Target late after our youth group, and I got a wireless router, so we now have wireless, which is exciting, so we don't have to, not really fight over, but, you know, only one person could use the internet at a time, and we couldn't use it on our phones, so now we're really excited. And that's really random, and I'm sure you guys don't care, but whatever. I'm adding a new section called Trade Winds, which is something we get a lot of in Hawaii. It's basically the wind that comes, it's more like a breeze, they're not really winds. They call them trade winds, and they come, like if this is the big island and these are the other islands, it kind of comes like this. No, I lied. They come like this. So if this is the chain, this is the winds. And that's why they have the windward and the leeward side of the island, which some of you may know about. But the windward side is where all the wind comes, and the leeward side is where the wind is not. Basically, it's where the wind ends up. And so this is basically the section where it's like a week in review, some people call it. Other people, I know Fat Squirrel Speaks calls it shenanigans. It's basically things that happened randomly during the week. So since I tend to babble on about things that happened during the week, during the beginning of the episode, I've decided to title the section. Being fancy now, right? So that was Trade Winds. I don't think I have a whole lot to tell you. We're back from Florida, obviously, because I'm back in my apartment. We've done a lot of sleeping. We did some moving around of things in our living room. I fixed the rod in the closet in the extra room that we've kind of started calling the library because we've lined it with bookshelves and put books everywhere. Was coming out of the wall, and so I got to use my power drill, which I'm always really excited about. And we basically just took the whole thing out, moved some of the supports, and put it back in, and now we can hang things on it, so that's kind of exciting. And we finally got the rug down in the living room, so our apartment's finally coming together, which is exciting. Yay! Alright, let's go into Blow the Conch Shell, which is the announcements. We have the February knit along going on, reds and pinks. It's not really a knit along, it's more like a make along. Someone asked me if handspun counted. Handspun totally counts. Anything knit, crocheted, spun, if you want to sew a project bag, or if you sew quilts and it's mostly red and pink, I'll take that. I'm taking anything. Because I think it's exciting to see multi-craftualism, which I know is not a word, but whatever, I just made it up. And so yeah, put your things. I think we have 9 people in there, which is exciting. I have some things to add. I know I can't win prizes, but I'm going to post pictures anyway because I can't. Anyway, and please tag your projects with KP Feb 14. So it's for Knitted Paradise, but KP for short. Feb for February, and then 14. So in case we do another one of these next year, if I make it that long, hopefully, we can tag that with KP Feb 15. So tag your project so we can all look at the gorgeousness. And yeah, I will randomly draw a prize. I guess that'll be next week because that'll be the end of the month. So next week I will draw a number randomly. And I ordered the prize. I ordered some Knit Picks Felici, which is their self-striping yarn, which I heard through another podcast they're going to stop making, which is kind of sad because I liked their self-striping. So it's self-striping sock yarn. I ordered 2 balls. It's the spring mix color if you want to look it up. It's lots of different shades of green. And I ordered 2 balls because 1 ball is only 200 yards, so if you wanted to make a pair of socks, you wouldn't have enough. And I wanted to at least give people enough to make a pair of socks. Or mittens or whatever you want to make. And with that, green is going to be the color for March. So start thinking about green projects that you have for March, because that'll be the next color. And the person who wins can use their Knit Picks Felici, or Felici some people call it. Sorry, my undershirt is falling off. Yes, I'm wearing my cat shirt today. You can see it. It has cats on it. Yes, I have a shirt that has cats on it. It's kind of awesome. I have a friend who works at the Gap, and so she gets a discount. And she told me one day, Lucia, there's a shirt with cats on it. I was like, I think I need that shirt. So yes, this is what I wore to work today, with a sweater on top of it because it's cold in my office. Sorry, cat's making weird noises. I don't know where he went. Speaking of cats, but yes, this is my cat shirt. Sometimes I'd wake up and I'm like, it's a cat shirt day. I also have one with bicycles, which may make an appearance at some point. It's kind of fun. I like bikes and I like cats, so it's work attire. It's a collared shirt, buttons up. Tuck it into my pants and I look fancy. Anyway, back to Below the Conch Shell. Sorry, my show notes are over here on the screen. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but there is a donate button on my website, pearlofthepacific.info. It's P-E-A-R-L of the Pacific.info. If you click on the podcast tab, that's one place to watch all the episodes. YouTube is another place. Thank you for all the subscriptions. It's been kind of fun to see. I'm like, oh, people are subscribing. Yay! But yeah, feel free to donate. That'll go toward prizes and shipping. Also, if you want to donate some yarn or a project bag or something, let me know, because that would be awesome. I love to show off your wares, or if you're trying to destash some things and you want it to go to a good home, I am definitely taking prizes because I like hosting knit-alongs. This is fun. So, but I also like giving away prizes, so I need some prizes to give away. I also can dig through my own stash eventually, but I can mostly get to it. It's all in one large bin, so it's kind of hard to get to anything that's on the bottom or in the middle. So I'm kind of knitting what's on the top, or things that I pulled out that I knew I wanted to knit right away when we moved. So that's that. Oh, I also ordered the prize for April. It's going to be blues. So you can think about greens and blues. I'm getting excited about colors. Alright, enough talk. On to knitting. On the island, I have a lot of things. Well, a fair amount of things. I have a large pile over here of stuff. Just like piled project bags on my bed. It's kind of fun. I know it's kind of awkward to be in the bedroom, but it's where the best light is, so it's where I am. Alright, let's start with these because they're right in front. These are the Smaug socks by Claire Ellen. and these are for the February knit along. I'm hoping I can finish them this week. We'll see. I have turned the heel. Ta-da! Sorry, I'm trying to, there. There's two of them. It's easier just to show one. And now I'm working on, there's the tail cable. Sorry, my needles are hitting the box that the computer's sitting on. And I was doing them on size 1.5 because that's often what I do my husband's socks out of. But I started doing the bottom of the heel on size 0s. He tends to wear out the bottom of the heel of his socks quickly, so I started knitting those on size 0. So that's why I've got two needles here. I've got my Gu red lace size 0s and my Knit Picks, nickel plated size 1.5s on the top of the foot. At first it was really hard because I had the top of the foot and all the gusset stitches on the 1.5s, and then just the bottom. I figured out how to add more to the 0s, and the decrease rounds are very good because they decrease the amount of stitches on the top needle. So they're a lot easier now. But I was knitting on those tonight. It's actually kind of late, but we were watching Psych, which is one of my favorite TV shows, and so I got my husband started on it, and we've been watching it for a while. And we were watching it on Netflix, and they only have up to season 6, and I haven't seen season 7 or 8. I kind of stopped watching it because I didn't have time, and I didn't have cable, and I was in grad school anyway. But end of season 6 is a huge cliffhanger, so we had to go searching online and watch the first episode of season 7. So I was going to record earlier, but I got sucked into Psych, which is awesome. And that's in my, sorry, back to knitting, I digress. That's in my Silver Shed music bag. Plus cat hair. And that, oh, I totally forgot to tell you what yarn this is. This is, I even put the ball band in here, I'm so smart. 3 Irish Girls, Adorn sock in Marmalade. And it is really that bright. It's very bright. So I'm plugging along on those and hope to be done this week. It's the end of the knit along. Alright, next. We'll go with this, because this is next. This is a present for my friend, who hopefully is not watching. Or if she is, she'll get this soon. So, this is the Minion by Stana de Sortor. And this is Highland Handmades Mountain Maple Sock in Divi. This is the orange, or the yellow, sorry. And it's just nice tonal yellow. This is the body of the Minion, just mostly together. I'm not skilled at making stuffed things, but I'm doing my best. But this is the body, and I have the 2 arms. I added fingers. The pattern didn't have fingers, but they have 3 fingers. And I've started the leg, which is somewhere. There it is. I needed the needles for something, so that's the yellow part of the leg, and then I have to add the shoe. I found a pair of scissors, which I've been searching for. I have these fold-up scissors. I bought like a huge pack of them on eBay, and I put them in all of my little needle nooks, along with like a crochet hook or 2, apparently, different sizes, and a couple of locking stitch markers. And those go in all my project bags so that they're there when I need them. And it's in my matching slip stitch studios. And the black is just some scrap yarn. I don't remember. I knit some socks for my husband that didn't end up fitting, so I took them. But that is coming along. I haven't worked on that in a little while, but I wasn't able to show it to you last week because I was in Florida and it stayed here because it's in a million little pieces and I didn't want to deal with that while traveling. Okay, I ought to put these somewhere else. What else am I working on? Oh, these socks. Haha! I started a new pair of socks. There's so many socks going on right now, it's not even funny. I started some socks for me, which are also on 2 different needles. These are the Toe Up Ampersand socks by Bogby Craft, and this is Biscotti and C. Felix in Paradise. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but it's a self-striping yarn that I got from the Loopy U, using some of my Loopy credits. And maybe it'll focus? It's trying to focus on a bazillion things. Anyway, I wanted to try out the knitting on 2 needles. So I've got my Chaogu red lace ones, and oh god, I don't know, maybe there's Addies? Maybe it says on them. Hiya Sharp, size 1, on the bottom. I don't like the Hiya cord as much as I do the Chaogus. It's just, it kind of coils and I don't like how it behaves. But they're a little, these 2 needles are a little too short to do 2 at a time. So I tried to do that. They're a little too long to do 2 needles, but they work. And I'm liking them so far. I haven't worked on them in a couple days, but I am very much enjoying those, and I can't wait for them to be done. But I had some other things that I needed to finish. And those are in another Slip Stitch Studios bag. My bicycle's on it. And it matches the yarn, which I thought was perfect. So that's been worked on since I talked to you last. And now I'm going to show you something new. Sorry, I keep looking at my show notes. This is something that has been resting in the hammock for a long while, but I decided to pull it out. And this is my Gryffindor scarf. As you know, I'm a large fan of Harry Potter. Also, a lot longer than I remember it being. It might be almost halfway there. A little over. I don't know how long I'm going to make it. But this I'm knitting to go with my Ginny Weasley costume, which, you know, I wore to Harry Potter World, well, Universal Studios Islands of Adventures, Harry Potter World. It was a little too warm for this scarf, but I would really like to finish it to have with that costume, because then I have to knit my husband one to go with his costume. And this is out of Cascade 220. Not the superwash, just the regular, in maroon and goldenrod, and it's on size, what did I mark here? Size 8. I took the needles off, but I have these little markers that tell me what size. So I think I'm just doing like 27 rows of the maroon, 2 rows of the gold, 3 rows of the maroon, 2 rows of the gold, and repeat. And that's coming along. But I pulled it out because we're going to skip to another section. I got a new bag that goes with it. It's a Harry Potter bag. And this is from the Kicks and Giggles shop on Etsy, which will be linked in the show notes. This is her large wedge bag. And I was also able to catch the club from Slip Stitch Studios. They had the same fabric, and I got a needle nook. It has orange on the inside. Just fabulous. It has the same zipper. And the orange in there. There's really a lot of detail that goes into this. So obviously there's nothing in there yet because I just got it. But it's the same fabric and spoonflower. And I got the large wedge bag, which I thought, oh, that'll be perfect. And I like it. It's very well made. Got all the characters on it. And see, these are I've got more somewhere unwound, but those are the two that are wound that I'm currently working from. So those are, oh, don't go blank. Those fit right in. Gets too much bigger, I don't know. Well, the yarn will go down, so we'll see. It's almost done. But that's pretty exciting, and then my husband's will go in there next. So that's gonna, I haven't worked on it, but I brought it out. So I can work on it, so it's gonna go back on the needles. Oh, the other thing, set sail. I was looking at the show notes for On the Island, and I was like, wait a minute, I finished those today. You gonna let me get up and get them? Sorry, they're wet, they're socks. I was blocking them. Hold on, 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I'll cut that out because you don't need to see me awkwardly climbing on and off the bed. I finished the socks for my mother-in-law. Ta-da! They're still very wet at the moment. I was knitting along on them at work during one of my breaks, and I realized that, oh, the leg is almost the same length as the foot, which is usually when I am done. So I started knitting the cuff, and then I just kind of knit. My husband had something to do after work, so I just knit on the cuff. And then I figured, oh, I'll just knit until he comes and gets me, and then when I get home I'll bind off. So that's what I did. And then I stuck them in the wash. Well, I soaked them in the sink, stuck them in the wash, same thing, while we were watching Psych. And then I put them on some sock blockers. So her feet are a little smaller than me, so these sock blockers are a little big. But this is a little variation on the Jack pattern by Regina Sada. And this is Lorna's Laces Soulmate in South Shore. Now what I did, the Jack pattern is this slip stitch with like a seed stitch along it, because you knit, purl, knit, alternate rows of knitting and purling, and then you slip, every other row. But I added these little eyelets and like knit two together and SSKs in the middle there. Maybe it'll focus. Anyway, you get the idea. For a little extra something. And I think it turned out rather well. It looks good now that it's blocking. When it was kind of bunched up, it didn't look as good. But, so that has set sail. Another thing that has set sail that you haven't even seen yet, I don't think you've even heard that I got the yarn for, but I special ordered some yarn from Leading Men Fiber Arts in their box office base in the colorway Fox Says What? Anyway, that's how I say it. To knit my husband a hat. Ta-da! So I knit him the Wind's Chief hat. And as you can see, I did intarsia in the round. The brim is, and the pom-pom, is Malabriga Rios in the natural colorway. Pom-pom's probably easier to see it. Ooh, nice. And there's got that nice twisted red stitch. And this is basically grays, reds and browns and loveliness, a little bit of black, so it looks like a fox. And my husband said, oh, can you add a pom-pom on the top? So it looks like a fox's tail. So, ta-da! And yes, I did intarsia in the round. which wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be once I figured it out. It's a little tricky getting started, and I was hoping to do the cast on in the 2 different stitches, but that didn't work very well. So I ended up doing the cast on in the natural, and then the next row using the Bling Fiber Arts. Are you here to model it? Oh, okay. My husband's home tonight, so I'm gonna model the hat. I knit it over the weekend, and I washed and blocked it yesterday. Pop in. Here, you gotta move this way.
Yeah, I know. The cat's playing
sorry.
with them. Hey, buddy. I know. I know.
Really? So this is my husband, Jeremy.
Hi, everybody.
This is the One Sheet hat, which I did for the Dramatic Knits podcast Knit Along, and I get bonus for doing it out of their yarn. So, and Steve wrote me and said he liked it. So, yeah.
And it's got a bobble, which is the best part.
Exactly. Now you have 3. This is
I've got a handful.
This is your first hand knit winter hat, though.
Yes, this is excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, have fun.
You gonna wear your hat now? Anyway, back to regular scheduled programming. Thanks for making a cameo. I like it. Anyway, continuing on. So those are my 2 set sail objects. Flora and Fauna. I have a review. Let me see how we're doing. Oh, we're kind of running long. I may skip the review for this week because I have some other fun things to show you. It's only been a week and I have so many things to show you. Let's start with On the Horizon. I have more socks, of course. I just finished my mother-in-law's socks. I just finished my father-in-law socks, which are to him already. I've got a sock for me. I've got socks for my husband. I've got these socks. This is Diabolical yarn in the rock and roll colorway. Don't quote me on that. I think you're right. I think I'm right. And it's black with purple and teal. Maybe it's better in this game. Oh, maybe. And these, I'm going to knit the simple skip rib socks, or the Skype rib, some people call them. And I'm doing this for the Single-Handed Knits February Friend Fetish. I think that is. It's not really a knit along, but you find a buddy, and I found a buddy, and she suggested this pattern, and I contacted her because it's been on my list for a while. And what we're doing is you exchange some yarn, so that's what this is, and we decided we would give each other enough for heels and toes, maybe a cuff. So we're gonna knit, her yarn looks similar to mine, so I'm gonna use her yarn, which should have come in the mail today. Maybe our mail comes really late sometimes, so I may go check it tonight before I go to bed to see if it came today. But I'm going to knit heels and toes out of that yarn, and if I have enough I'll knit the cuff, and then the rest of the sock will be out of this. And we get to chat about our knitting and about other things. So I'm a little late on doing this because I was out of town, but I've got this and I need to wind it into a cake, and I have got some other things to mail. So those are going to go on the needles very soon. I also have some socks here. I'm going to get them right over here that were sent back to me. These are some socks that I knit maybe a year ago. Gosh, did I not weave in my ends? Maybe 2 years ago at this point. This is a pair I knit for my mom. And this is the Georgia on My Mind pattern by Leslie of the Knit Girls, or at least a variation thereof. Because I didn't do the full seed stitch all the way down. You can see I started with 1 row and then 2 rows and 3 rows, and I increased until I had all seed stitch. And this is out of Sweet Georgia yarns. I'm not sure the colorway. This is the same yarn that I used to knit some of the baby socks that I'm going to send to my sister-in-law, and also the Minion overalls are going to be out of these. But I knit these, I don't know how long ago, year and a half ago. And my mom was saying, ooh, they're nice and soft, that around the heel is really tight, and that this, oh yeah, here it is. The top is really tight, and so she can't wear them because my bind off is too tight. So I told her to mail them to me, and I would rip them back and fix that. So I'm going to rip those out and fix them, but that's also on in the queue. And there was another pair that I knit for, sorry for the crinkling, I sent them back in the tissue paper. One of my friends ordered some socks, and these are for her daughter, and she said they were also very tight, which I can see why now. I think what I'm gonna do is rip this back and do like stockinette or rib in the back and keep the pattern just on the front, because I put the pattern on the back as well, and I think that added to, because the bind off is fine, but as soon as you get down to the pattern, it's too tight. Some of these slipped stitch patterns make the socks not as stretchy, and so she was having a hard time getting them on and off. So I said send them back with my mom, since they both live in Hawaii, and I will reknit those for you. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the same pattern. I might just do that, what I just said. I'm just contradicting myself. I was thinking maybe I just knit a whole nother, rip them completely out and knit a whole nother pattern, but I may keep the foot, because the foot seems okay. And, oh, there's the cat. Wrong way, that way. He's gonna go see what's out the window. Those are on my list of things. And the other thing that's on the horizon is the Hues of Lothlorien hat and the New York mitts out of Shibui Baby Alpaca and Mineral. The same friend who's getting the Minion. She knows these are coming. She asked for these. So these are more of a commission knit. She's just paying me for the yarn. I was like, you don't have to pay me for the labor. So she bought the yarn, and then so I'm gonna knit those for her to replace. They have those in my sheet bag, because she has some flip top. They are fingerless, but they've got like the individual fingers. I don't know if I'm actually gonna do that or not. We'll see. But yeah, so those are on the horizon. Next, from the mainland, as you already saw two out of the, I guess you saw a lot of them now that I'm looking at the list. The Leading Men Fiber Arts box office. Box says what? You already saw that, because I already nipped that up. And then the Kicks and Giggles bag. I also got some other things from Slip Stitch Studios, and I had her mail them with my Harry Potter thing. If you don't know, it's slipstitchstudios.com. A little button, and on the back of her card is a hook or needle or hook chart. I think is very useful. So I got some more needle nooks because I've been getting more bags. And the cat is making his home here. He's trying to figure out where to nestle inside. So I got some mustaches, which is going to go in this bag, because it's black and white for the most part. So it's going to go in there, because I stole the needle nook out of a different bag. So that's going to go in one of my bags. I need to fill it with things. And then I got this bright and cheery one with sheepies on it, and it's green and turquoise and bright. It's got this fabulous pattern on the inside. So I'm excited for those. I know there's a bag that's supposed to go in. I don't know which bag it is, but I'll figure it out. So those are new. Oh, and I finally got one of these. I've been missing the updates on these forever. I got a TARDIS 10. It's really hard. Like, they sell out in 10 minutes. It's just a little tin to keep notions and things in. Or whatever's. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I may just, like, put it on a shelf and not use it because it's so cute. But I finally got one. I've been trying to get one for a while. That one didn't come with anything in it. It just was the tin, but I was still excited. So those are my from the mainland things. Oh, I got one more thing. Can I get this? Thank you. The cat's sitting on it. It's in a bag, so it doesn't matter. I also got another thing from the Kicks and Giggles shop. And this is also a present for my friend who likes the Minions. I got a Minion bag. This is her regular wedge bag. So, it's a little... Maybe it's not. It's a little smaller. Bottom's a little smaller. It doesn't have the other fabric on the side. But this is going to be for my friend. I might put the Minion in it, or I might save it because her birthday's coming up, so I might save this for her birthday. I'm going to keep this in the bag so that it does not get covered in cat hair. Oh, is that fun? Oh. Alright, I need to use this to tie this up. Sorry, Pam. So, that's it. I also got, before we moved actually, I got some really cool stitch markers. One for my Harry Potter bag and one for one of my Doctor Who bags, and I cannot find them for the life of me. They ended up in a box somewhere. So when I find them, I'll show them to you. They're very cool. Sorry if you can hear my upstairs neighbors. I know, you're very excited and you want to play with something, and now I've taken away your toys. I think that is it for this week, now that we're at 37 minutes. God, that's long. I need to go to bed. Alright, well, I will let this compress and whatever else it needs to do. And hopefully I will get it posted tomorrow morning. And yay for me for actually recording on a Monday. So have a great week. Get those red and pink knits done. Post photos in the thread on Ravelry. Tag them with KPFeb14. Yeah, I think that's it. Have a great week. Bye! Oh, good boy.